How's it going, everyone? Waifu Collector here, and welcome to the March 2025 edition of the JAV News Roundup. First things first, I'm gonna address why I've started a new channel and uploading the news roundup here. Well, sadly, my backup channel, Waifu Collector 2, has also been removed by YouTube, so now I'll be posting here on the foreseeable future. As I've said before, I'm not really doing this for anything. I'm mostly doing this for fun, kind of like a side hobby, so I'm not really that bummed about it. In the meantime, you can just catch your updates here. And with that being said, let's get right into the news. And for my first news of the day, it's gonna be Saki Sasaki and having a literal blood feud with Niko Kawagoe. Now, why did I say it's a literal blood feud? Well, literally they were fighting over a blood donation. This all started when Saki Sasaki called in at the YouTuber Korekore's livestream to talk about something she heard about an AV actress. And if you don't know who Korekore is, he's a huge YouTuber / streamer in Japan. I'm gonna describe him to like someone similar to a Japanese Keemstar. He does mostly drama stuff, and he usually discusses things that he gets from tips or from insider info he knows from his friends or some connections. And in some of his live streams, he gets call-ins from viewers to give him tips and info on some juicy drama. And for this feud, someone was anonymously calling to Korekore and they were disguising their voice, and they revealed that there's an AV actress that was donating blood, even though it was quite frowned upon. As being an AV actress, they have multiple sexual partners, and donating blood while having that kind of circumstance is quite frowned upon. The caller also said that a fellow AV actress warned her that it's a bad idea, but she still went through with it. Eventually, with Korekore's urging, the anonymous tipster revealed that it was Niko Kawagoe who was doing that blood donation, and the actress who warned her is actually the one calling in, which was Saki Sasaki. They discussed the incident further, with Saki being vehemently against her donating blood because of their profession, and eventually they were making jokes about the situation and laughing about it. The reaction to this was quite mixed, as people were saying that there's nothing wrong with donating blood, and while some others were chastising Niko Kawagoe for her actions. All in all, Niko was actually quite silent on this. She hasn't even tweeted or said anything about this drama. Interesting enough though, is that Niko Kawagoe and Saki Sasaki are all part of a idol group called Nekomanma, which was a sister group of the another idol AVI actress group, Miluna. And the members of those two idol groups had some interesting reactions, mostly against Saki Sasaki. If you can see here, we have some tweets from Rika Ono, Awa Ibuki, and Miho Nana, who was quite dismayed and saddened with the situation, and especially people laughing at someone's misfortunes and saying that the protecting one's peace is quite an important thing to have in one's life. So I don't know what's gonna happen. It seems that they're still pretty civil. They're still gonna be doing fan events as an idol group, especially Nekomanma. I think they have one this coming April. But yeah, it's quite interesting that this incident has maybe causing quite a rift in these idol groups, and I don't know what happens to Saki Sasaki. But yeah, it seems that Saki Sasaki has that vibe, just like Aihongo, who wants to be like a quite of inside in the YouTuber / live streamer space. She's been streaming a lot and uploading YouTube videos, so I don't know what's gonna happen with this, but it seems that there's not all is well in this two idol groups. And moving on to some other sad news here, we have here Nozomi Shirahama from Idea Pocket, who has announced that she hasn't been able to shoot some AV due to some failed eyelid surgery. Nozomi Shirahama posted some pictures of her botched eyelid surgery, and it's quite bad. You can see there's some like growths and bad stitches and triple eyelids, I think is what she called it. But yeah, it's quite sad that she had to suffer this, and she said that she went to a reputable doctor in Ginza, but they still botched it, and they were really taking responsibility for this, and it made her quite depressed. And she even told Idea Pocket that she would want to quit and she's fine if they don't bring her back after everything's resolved. So hopefully all goes well with Nozomi here and she can recover from this. But it's quite sad what happened to her, and hopefully nothing else happens, and hopefully she can make a comeback to JAV. And I move on to some transfer and retirement news. The last one that I'm gonna announce here is quite interesting transfer. Moody has been hyping out their 5 actresses that are set to join the studio, and the first one was revealed, which was Mori Hinako, who was a huge freelancer, and now she's gonna be joining Moody as an exclusive. Her first release is gonna be under the code MIKR011, and it's gonna be releasing this April 11. there's quite a lot of speculation who these other 4 transferees to Moody's are gonna be. They only give subtle hints here, and they haven't really released anything else aside from Mori Hanako's announcement. But all we know, there's some initials here with M, I, R, and W, and some quite vague clues, like the M1 being a gal, and I being a slut, and R having super breasts, and W being a transcendent woman. I guess I don't really translated this quite well, but yeah, it's quite interesting to see who these people are. There's quite a lot of speculation, and I have my own theories, but I'm not gonna say them because I want this to be I only want to report the official thing. So I'm gonna be quite excited to report and happy, and stay tuned as they roll out who these other 4 actresses are. And with that being said, let's move on to the retirement and transfer news. First up is going to be quite a sad one. It's going to be Amiri Saito, who announced that she'll be retiring at the end of the year. So she's going to be ending her fruitful and long AV career, and I hope that she finds the happiness in whatever she does next. And next up is going to be quite a weird one. It's Ando Haru, who I'm not really that familiar with. If you search for her JAV releases, she only has like 6 released listed on her name, and the most recent one being this March. But she also announced that she's retiring from AV. Upon further research onto her, it seems that she's mostly doing amateur work, but those things are quite hard to track because they use different names in that to make it look like they're amateurly shot. So quite sad to see her go, even though I'm not that quite familiar with her. And next up is gonna be Sayaki Sayuri, who announced that she has actually retired from job last year at the end of 2024, and she was just now able to officially announce that she has been retired since December 2024, and was able to post about it. So if you're a fan of hers and you're looking for her, well, she has just announced her retirement. And last one is also quite like a post-dated retirement announcement, I guess. It's gonna be Suzume Take, who announced in her Instagram page that she has finally retired from AV. If you don't know who she is, she actually has quite a storied career in AV. She started out as E-body exclusive and was one of the few transfers to S1. It's quite rare to see S1 having someone transfer to S1, but she transferred to S1 as an exclusive. She went freelance for a while. She did some AV in China and Taiwan, I think, and went back to Japan to continue shooting JAV. I think under the name now, but it's quite weird how she releases those things. And yeah, but if you look at her releases, she hasn't released anything since 2023, so it's quite weird that she's finally announcing it right now. But yeah, it's still quite sad to see. I remember when I first got into JAV, I was watching a lot of Suzume Take S1 videos as well, and quite sad that she's gonna be retiring from the industry. And moving on, let's go to some of the graduations here. It's gonna be quite a few. First up is gonna be Nanoha Mizuno, who I really like as a debut coming out of S1, and I'm really happy that she's gonna be graduating from the studio and is no longer an exclusive and going freelance. Next up is Ria Yuzuki, who I'm quite happy to also be going freelance. I think she's quite underrated. She also used to be under S1 and transferred to Attackers, and in her freelance post, she said that if she's no longer an exclusive, she'll stop being an AV actress. But thankfully, she was persuaded by staff and her fans to still continue being an AV actress and trying freelance, and I'm happy that she made the decision to not retire. And next up is gonna be Honoka Saito from SOD Star. I also like this girl, although not quite as much as the 2 prior. I think her SOD releases was quite bland, to be honest, and hopefully it changes eventually now that she's freelance, and hopefully I could enjoy her releases more. And last from my graduation news here is gonna be Yumi Nijimura, who's gonna be leaving Honoka and going freelance as well. And for my last set of transfer news here, it's gonna be actual transfers this time. First up is Nito Sayaka, who's gonna be transferring to Dahlia, also from S1. So it's that time of the year of S1 cleaning house, I guess. And Dahlia is all that willing to accept anyone, I guess, because our next transfer news is gonna be Chiharu Mitsuha, who's gonna be also transferring to Dahlia. She announced this on her YouTube channel, and this one's quite weird because Chiharu Mitsuha is also under the Faleno label, and if you don't know, Dahlia is actually under the Faleno label as well, so it's just switching offices, like moving to the office next door. Kind of weird. And I also but yeah, still all our transfer news are just about Dahlia this time around. And before I go, I just like to shout out this amazing JAV as S1's 20th anniversary celebration is still ongoing. It's gonna be SONE 561, which is releasing this April 4th. Its theme is gonna be a super VVIP party, I guess, very, very important person. It's gonna be starring Saika Kawakita, Kyohyo Kanemetsu, Ai Hongo, Yutano, Rengojo, Miyoko Hinata, Nanami Kodama, Moi Sakakibara, and Kagura Momoka. I'm quite excited for this one because it seems that Saika Kawakita this time around is more willing to interact with her other co-actresses, unlike the first 20th anniversary special S1 released earlier this year. So I'm quite excited, and I'd just like to shout this out. And that's gonna do it for me in this edition of JAV News Roundup. And if you're a prior subscriber, or anyone who's subscribed to my channel back then, please spread the word that I'm gonna be posting on this channel. And now, since both White Collector 1 and 2 channels have been removed by YouTube, and yeah, I'm still gonna be doing this, I guess, being a JAV YouTuber here. I don't really care about what happens in the channel. I just like talking about this stuff and posting about it. So, and that's gonna do it for me. And if you're like to keep updated with the happenings of the JAV industry, please consider giving my channel subscription. And thank you for watching.